Yeah, and we're here at Wednesday. Had a really good week of practice, first few days here, and our guys are looking forward on getting back on the road again here tomorrow for a action-packed weekend in Cornell. So, with saying that, we'll open up for questions.
What do you guys need to do against a team that's going to play the style that Cornell plays, maybe similar to Mankato? What are some keys for you guys to be successful against that
Well,
team?
yeah, I think the physicality of the series is one thing. I think the other thing is, playing at a physical level. But the other part is the puck management side of it too. Giving yourself to have a chance for gaining momentum in the series, and they're a hard, heavy team. They're one of the bigger, stronger teams. We are as well. And at the end of the day, trying to make sure that we don't feed into momentum of what they want in their building here. And again, especially teams are going to be huge, right? At the end of the day, we found out what that looked like on Saturday, and again, being more disciplined in the areas of being aggressive and assertive, but under discipline of not taking a ton of penalties to give them momentum.
You don't often see a team that loses only one player from year to year. What is it like looking at a team that, I guess, did you watch any of their games from last year?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we only got the Toronto game, but we had our guys put on the last 4 games from last year. So again, we know the style of play they have, the continuity with the guys back, only losing one guy. And at the end of the day, we have to obviously be cognizant of how hard they play away from the puck, but also be cognizant of what we have to do to have success against them. And I think the biggest thing is collectively as our group being on the same page of doing that shift after shift. Again, it's one of those things. We're going into a very storied rink out in Cornell there, and I think it's going to be a great experience for our guys because they have a great fan base as well, and it gets loud in there. And at the end of the day, of not deviating of the way we have to play, like we did against BU, trying to replicate that this weekend in a away setting.
Did you ever play there?
You know what? I swear, I've never played there. I've never coached there. I've never been to Ithaca, New York. I've played pro hockey with guys that played at Cornell, and hear a lot of great things about that place. But I've never ever experienced it.
Thoughts on going against Mike Schaefer in his last year? He's been around for a long time. I'm sure you've crossed paths with him before.
Yeah, for sure. Mike's done an unbelievable job of building that program to where it is perennially every year being a team in contention every year. And I know it's it's going to be emotional for him. This last year of playing, his final season of coaching, and he's just like us as far as the coaches before us and continuing right now. We built a brand here at North Dakota and our identity and who we are. That's, I guess, nationally known. He's done that as well as at Cornell as far as what he's done to build his brand in Cornell. And at the end of the day, when the puck drops, it's two teams that are going to try to play for keeps. But other than that, it's going to be a neat situation of seeing them again.
Have you guys got any more info on Bennett Smolik yet?
He'll be out for the weekend here, and it's it's probably a week to week right now. He's going through some appointments and different things, evaluations and different things, but right now it's out for the week.
With the amount of penalties that you guys took over the weekend against BU, is there a particular emphasis on discipline this week?
Yeah, just like I said earlier in the previous question, discipline is going to be a key. I know that's the first part of specialty teams as far as limiting the other team opportunities on their power play. But, we went through a video session on Monday here, and we talked about discipline. And there's different ways of discipline. First of all is controlling your sticks, controlling your habits away from the puck. But the one thing that led to a couple of penalties is our play with the puck. We had opportunities to move the puck up ice quick, go north. We decided to hang on to it, make not a great decision, turn the puck over, which made us take a penalty. So I think discipline is not just away from the puck, it's when you have the puck too, to put you in those vulnerable situations that make you take a penalty. So yeah, that's a big deal, and we went over that with our group.
And on the other side of the special teams, the power play has been outstanding so far this year. How do you guys, sustain that success?
Keep pushing, keep challenging our guys, keep them sharp. Carl Gehring's done an unreal job of, everybody talks about, which unit is going out first and different things like that. Like, we have the luxury with our guys of having 2 number 1 units that can go out there. And I think that's the key is the competition within our group on those 2 units, respectfully, to push each other and to try to get better and have no complacency. And I don't see any complacency. There's a sharpness, the urgency in the power play, and I'll tell you what, it wins you games. It won us a game in Mankato on Friday night, and it won us a game, to get us going on BU on Friday night here as well, and it's a big deal.
You talked a little bit earlier about Cornell not having many games under their belt, just the exhibition to look at from this year. Is it an advantage for you guys to have more games under your belt at this point in the year than your opponent?
Well, I don't really want to get into that. All I know is, when we played Mankato, we only had one game under our belt as well, and they had four. And it's a situation where, they're going to do a good job, even though they've played one exhibition game and maybe a scrimmage or two against other programs or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's about who's ready on Friday night. And I think, it's nice to have games under your belt. But at the end of the day, I think it's a mental thing at this approach as who's ready to play on Friday night.
Can you talk about some of the challenges or strategies involved in playing ranked opponents 4 weeks back to back to back?
Yeah, well, I think it's a situation. We knew BU was coming in here, and they were a really good team. And I think, we always talk about playing against a faceless opponent, and that's true because it doesn't matter who you play; they're going to bring you their best. But I do think when you're playing ranked opponents, it gets your attention pretty quick here. That, hey, man, we got to be our best, and they're looking at us as the same way as a ranked opponent. But you have to be your best, and you have to bring it early in order to have success. You can't fall behind here, and I think it sharpens us. I really do. When you think about going to Providence and Mankato, and then you got the BU series, and now you got Cornell, and then we get into NCHC the following week. Like that raises your attention level and sharpness here, and it forces you to be your best. And that's our biggest thing right now is we want to be our best early.
What are your thoughts on the leadership shown by your captains during this tough stretch of games?
Yeah, well, again, going back to experience is a big deal. A year ago we had a lot of transfers in here, and we had some older guys, Reese Gaber and a lot of Hunter Johannes, a lot of older guys in our group here that kind of led the way, and now we have some really good leaders that have come back, but we're getting some good leaders here that are learning on the go as well on how tough it is and the things that we have to do every day. I think the biggest thing is practice. What you have to do in practice to replicate what you have to do in the games, and that's where leadership comes in on not only being an extension of the coaching staff in practices, but making guys accountable of doing the right things, of the habits and details that lead to success here. And I think that's a big thing early with our leadership group is having the good sharp practices that we're having.
Were there any specific player performances from this last weekend versus BU that you hope to see heading into this weekend?
Yeah, you know what? I think collectively as a group, I thought, obviously you touched on our power play and on that being a big part of it here. But, our guys learning and growing here, we've had a couple of injuries here, guys that are out of the lineup. And at the end of the day of getting these guys some experience through their play. And you look at our decor here, we got a young decor right now in our lineup here, and I think they've done a really good job of getting up to speed. I think early on it was, a few bumps in the road, but at the end of the day, they've really got up to speed on how we have to play. So I would say our decor, our young guys, and, our young guys in our lineup on trying to contribute because they're all getting minutes and they're playing in influential situations.
What are your thoughts of being 3-2 with that tough schedule?
Yeah, you know what? I think at the end of the day, you could say whatever. You could be 4-1, you could be 2-3, you could be 3-2, whatever that is. We look at the I guess our standard of play of how we play in those games. When you look at the BU series, I thought we played 2 games well enough that we should have won against a top-ranked team. When you go into Mankato, I felt Friday night we won a game where we probably shouldn't have won that game. But I felt on Saturday we should have won. So to me, the last 3 games that we've played, we're good enough to win. At the end of the day, that's what we want to strive to. And again, the result will take care of the result if you do the things in game that feel that you have a chance to win those games. The last 3 games, I thought we had chances to win that game. All 3 of those games.
Yeah, and kind of with that, it's your last series of the non-conference schedule before the NCHC gets going. Just characterizing, what do you want to see out of your team in this last before you head on the road against Minnesota Duluth?
Well, the last words you just said, on the road. At the end of the day, when you talk about Providence, how we played at home, when you talk about BU, the 2 games we played at home, that's what we want to see on the road. At the end of the day, the Ralph is a great environment, and we've had a lot of success here, but at the end of the day, we want to have that success on the road by having the identity and mentality how we play here, but take it on the road.